I'm Karin Phillips. I'm a graduate of Rutgers Camden. I got my bachelor's degree in 1979. I went back and got my master's degree in English in 1998. My current position now is community affairs reporter at KYW Newsradio. One of the things I like about being community affairs reporter is that fun stories are my thing. I mean, I go out into the community and do a lot of interesting things. I usually have one interesting story a week. Last week at the Franklin Institute, they were installing the two giant Colossus statues that they are going to put in the exhibit for Cleopatra that's coming up in June. And I got to watch them with the cranes and tip these statues into a window and set them up inside the exhibit, which was a lot of fun, very hair-raising and interesting. When Prince Andrew came here years ago, I was one of the few people who had dinner with him when he was here visiting. I went to Italy in 2008 with members of the Franklin Institute and from the local tourism bureau to see what would be happening here in the 6 months after that with the Galileo exhibit. So I got to spend 3 days, 3 frantic days in Florence, Italy, which was also a lot of fun. 2 weeks ago for Arbor Day, I did my stories up in a tree at the Friends Hospital, which is a gorgeous psychiatric center, which is about 200 acres of trees, and the arborists were there for Arbor Day cleaning up the area, and I end up doing my stories on them, but I did them from a tree. I was 20 feet off the ground. When I was an undergraduate at Rutgers Camden, I was a member of the Gleaner, the newspaper, for years, throughout from my freshman through my senior year, and I spent most of my time, when I was not in class, inside the Gleaner office. You know, because I had a lot of friends from there. We used to hang out together. We used to talk about the paper, lay out the paper, argue, fight. You know, we did a lot of stories, and there was a lot of controversy going on there. Anybody who knows the history of the Gleaner, there was a lot of controversy in the late 70s with the Gleaner. There was a lot of problems with the minority community in the area. We hit the national news several times because members of the minority community were snatching our newspapers, accusing us of racism. Going through something like that, I mean, I was 17 years old when I got to Rutgers. I was pretty young, and I was 21 when I graduated. And when you go through all that nonsense in your youth, it kind of prepares you for things when you're going out into the street and dealing with other people, you know, and dealing with people of different diverse communities. And that's the one thing about Rutgers was very diverse. There were a lot of different kinds of people there. And for somebody who grew up in the South Jersey suburb, it was a very interesting way to wrap up my career in college, was dealing with all these different kinds of people. So Rutgers was really, really helpful for that. My experience in the Gleaner was very, very helpful. And that's one of the things that has gotten me through this job, because I deal with a diverse number of people every day, every kinds of organizations, Hispanic, Asian, you know, and all these people I've dealt with in the past. I graduated in 4 years with 2 majors and a minor. So I was a very, very busy kid when I was in school, and that really helped me to learn how to organize my life and organize things that I had to do and prioritize myself. And I trace that back to Rutgers, because there's no way I would have gotten out of school in 4 years with 2 majors and a minor if I did not know how to organize myself. And that's one of the things that I am proud of myself when it comes to this job, is why I get so many things done, is because I am very, very organized. And Rutgers really helped me with that too. I didn't really realize I was one to be a broadcaster until I started working here. And once again, that was because of Rutgers Camden. I mean, somebody who worked at Rutgers Camden knew somebody who worked here and ended up giving me an interview. So that's why I know I'll be tied to Rutgers Camden for the rest of my life.
This is Karin Phillips, KYW Newsradio.